All right, cue the stream. Is that loud? Is that too loud? It doesn't look too loud relative to what I'm saying. It's probably just coming through too loud for me. Let me just lower my speakers a touch. Wait, does this change the way it comes out for the stream? I don't know if changing this slider affects my stream output. I need to figure that out. Not right now, but I do need to figure that out. Also, how's my ambient light? Is this too low? This looks too low. Let's just crank that up by one. Crank up the white light. Okay, that's good. Crank that down. How we doing? That looks all right. Yeah, we'll go with that. I'm gonna refresh my coffee before I get started, and I'll let a couple folks know that I'm getting the stream ready to roll. Okay, yeah, the stream looks up. Cool. All right. 1 sec. All ready to go? Yeah. Look at the Stalfos on the throne. Let's go. All right. Send out the notification. It never works otherwise. Ah, the notifier worked. Whee! Sometimes it works, I guess. Yep, okay. I guess it worked yesterday, too, so there's that. Oh. There we go. Yeah. Okay, I think that's all the folks I wanted to notify. Yeah, that's fine. Wait, actually, is there a go live on the randomizer Discord? Where's the randomizer Discord? I had it up here. Where'd it go? Yes, yes, yes. Rando streams. Here we go. Okay. Yep. Quick entry on the randomizer stream. So I think that's everything I could think to notify. So then, let's go ahead and get started. This is a new stream. This is a new seed from yesterday. Da-da-da. Yeah, different code along the top. Still playing as Solaire. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. I'm gonna start at the house with the uncle check as before. I was thinking yesterday that I might want to change my opener from Uncle Check to Kakariko. Start at the Sanctuary instead. Both the house and the Sanctuary give you a chest on spawning. I'm not going to do the tree pull this time. It's in the wrong button. So I'm only going to go from this to front of escape if I get a reliable weapon out of the chest. It's basically like have to be sword or hammer. Not happening. So we'll just quit out to Sanctuary. And I'm going to check Lumberjack. And then go into Dark Woods for the mushroom check. That would be small key for escape. Which does not change up my escape gameplay very much. I'm still not going to go down there for a long old time. Excuse me. Kill a guard so we can check tree pull. It's meaningless. Whoops. This little running guy. Excuse me. Nothing important. Lumberjack item is red ruby, so it's unimportant. Mark that off to on load screens. Into the woods. This is a different angle from what I usually do. I think so. Yeah. I think I'm usually taking the lower entrance instead of the lumberjack entrance. Bombs. Cool. Need those. Okay, so, whoops. I'm like offhandedly looking at a map while I'm doing this. Exit this on the right-hand side down to here. Let's take this way out. That's fine. Oh, whoops. I didn't actually check the mushroom. I said I was going to, and then I didn't. Let's see. The mushroom check is, like, up and over from here, right? Piece of heart. I'll go ahead and grab it. Oh, that's not an exit. Oops. Hearts? Come on. I definitely can't have this bomb stolen. Excuse me. Ba 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 ba. Okay. First round of Kakariko checks, and we got fingers crossed for bottle or rubies. So we can get the other Kakariko checks. Yep. Push it. Ice Rod, okay. And we've got several pieces of heart. Lots of pieces of heart. Early flippers, okay. Early flippers. We might get some weird routing. We can do the... So that puts the Zora Fairy Fountain really early. Zora Ledge is also open. Yeah. Early bow. Cool. Ah, good damage. Okay, so if we get... So we can do Eastern Palace if we get... Oh, there's a bottle, so we can check the Sick Kid while we're here. And if we get a lantern, we can do Eastern Palace. Completely. Oh, oops, that's the wrong house. Okay, so Chicken Hut, and we're out of bombs. But there's no other bomb check in Kakariko. Unless we need to do race game. Go ahead and sit, kid. Okay. I have the rubies to buy another bomb. Should I just buy another bomb? Yeah. Let's just buy some bombs. I'll get more rupees later. This puts us away from Potion Salesman. Bow and arrow is not a bad item for Front of Escape. Alright, library is bombs. Don't need it. It's only 10 seconds to run the race, plus the time for the bomb, but just walk over and check it. Bombs, don't need it. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna quit out to house, do the water thing. Let's see. With 10 bombs, I should be able to do the cave. What's the cave called? The mini Molnorm cave. We just bomb through it. And then we can go for Ice Rod. Pretty much my usual opening routine. Don't have the hook shot, so I have to do this the slow way. Hammer! Okay. Now we have a real weapon. Which moves up the priority on Front of Escape for me. I mean, sorta. Kinda, sorta. Ah, come here. Should also make Mini Molnorm Cave a bit more straightforward, so I don't have to bomb through it. Don't need it. Cool. Oh. Oh, wrong way. Yeah. Got in my way. Well, I needed the arrows. Come to think of it, I probably should have picked up those other arrows. I kind of need arrows. What was that bottle content? B, get him. I should have done that at first. That was a good idea. All right, now we're plenty healthy. Okay, so I'm gonna head over towards. I'm gonna keep my heading of Ice Rod Cave. Since I have the flippers, if I can find money between the Ice Rod Cave and the and the hobo, I would like to go up to Zora's domain, and I can get the Zora waterfall, the Zora check, and the ledge. I think my overarching theory of this is basically have 3 checks in mind, and you should be going for checks in groups of 3 or clusters. Nothing important. All right, we're taking a dive, hitting the water. We haven't found enough money to do any Zora stuff yet. So let's do the hobo check. Yeah. It is a bit of a swim, of course. And on that island... Oh, we've got boots on that island. Okay. That's important to know. So a lot of our speed is locked behind that. I think boots... Boots can also be a mandatory item because of interactions in, like, 2 dungeons. Okay, 1 heart. So, let's see. To get that, we basically just need Dark World access and the mirror, and then we'll be able to get boots. Because we've already got the flippers. But we need, like, mainline... we've already got the hammer. So yeah, from Moon Pearl is all we need for that. Moon Pearl and mirror. This is a little bit out of the way right now because we can't go see King Zora, but this is still 2 easy chests. Like, this is really fast. Moon Pearl, very important. Okay. I'm quitting out and I'm doing front of escape. Okay, Moon Pearl's pretty big. I still don't have a light source. Still don't have the mirror. Or the gloves. Those are like the most important items hanging out. We've got access to Desert Cave. And considering how much money we need for various things, this would be a really good time for me to know how to access the this would be a good time for me to know how to access the Houlihan room, which I am not practiced in doing, unfortunately. You? Nice. Don't need that. All right. Thinking maybe Desert Ledge at this point, or Desert Cave. It's a little tricky. Sahasrala's house. We're gonna do Sahasrala's house to do a possible Eastern Palace. Art pieces abound. Alright. Let's check our Light World dungeons. All crystals. We have access to Aga Tower for Dark World transition. Because the, in Rando, the hammer can open Aga Tower. Just a lot of heart pieces. A lot of heart pieces. Let's see. With the hook shot, I can go to the right for a really quick chest. Boss key. All right. So the problem with trying to clear this is that there are two very meaningful dark rooms here. I'll take all the magic, thank you. More bombs. Magic powder. Okay. I think there are like 2 more chests along all this stuff. Okay, so this is the first dark room. Oh, I have no sword, so I can't use that. I managed to get the key in the dark. Maybe lower on the screen. Haha! Got it! That is my first successful traversal of that room, even though it's a very simple dark room. I think you... Oh, you know what? I could have actually just sprinkled magic powder on those things and walked through. I should keep that in mind. For like, if I have to deal with that room in the future. But, yeah, there's the one chest in there. You have to do a whole bunch of stuff to get to it, unfortunately. Okay, now for the real dark rooms. Yep, got the Mimic. Okay, got the room. Oh, this is the optional room. Crap. I don't know the way out of this one. Found it. Okay. I need to exit on the left here. There it is. Next dark room's tough. Oh wait, this isn't dark. Alright, this would be my first ever off-logic clear of Eastern Palace. Nice. Of course, I still don't know the proper quick kill. I did not realize before now that trying to move while you have the bow out cancels the bow animation and lets you fire faster. I'll chalk that up to small text I probably should have realized forever ago. No sword. Alright, still no gloves, something like that. I'm gonna do Potion Guy. And then... what else? We can do Potion Guy and then the little demon check, the half magic check. We've got those two in Kakariko. And then I've got Desert Cave. And then if it's not that, then it would be like Zora, but I have no money. I have no money. Could be Zora Ledge, I guess? Because that's free. Oh, flute. Well, that is the most convenient flute I've ever seen. That opens a lot of Death Mountain stuff. We could check. It'd be easier to check Old Man if I also had a light source. There we go. Whee! What do you got? Nothing. We can do the east side of Death Mountain, all those caves. That's pretty big. What are we missing to finish Tower of Hera? Good question. Got the blue boomerang. The bloomerang. Got the hook shot. By all means, I think I'd be in for a pretty quick clear. Is there anything there that you need to light? You need to light a torch in the basement. So if the basement is mandatory, then I can't do that. Okay, so come through here, going for Paradox. Need bombs. Awesome. There's a bit of cash. Get that dosh. Okay, so mostly we just got money there. Not the worst thing. Stepping out, now we're headed for the top of the mountain. We need to hop down into Spiral Cave, I believe is what's next. Out of the way, you little guy. Yeah, just let me climb. Okay. Should be this one. This is the wrong one. Had to be the one furthest on the left. And this is only good for like one item. Yep. Yep. Okay. Small mistake there. Should be this guy. Maybe I was mixing it up with the Dark World variant. Oh, excuse me. We'll just proceed on. If you don't want to interact, that's fine. I don't need you. Blue mail. All right. Cuts down my likelihood of death quite a bit. I think I need to take out Aghanim to hit Dark World. Wait. No, I can't bounce back Aghanim's shots. I can't fight him. Okay. Desert, then? Must be Desert Cave. Because I don't think Hammer can bounce back Aga shots, even in Rando. Out of my face, buzzard. I don't know if walking there from home or using the flute is faster. There's a question. Big deal. Okay, that's important. What does it actually open? Dark World is open now. Yeah, Dark World is open through Kakariko. Was Dark World already open through Kakariko? Maybe it was. Let's fly. We need to take the long way around. Yeah, that Dark World entrance. Ba-da-bum, ba-ba-ba-ba-bum, bum, bum, ba-da-bum. Yeah. It wasn't open until then because I had to lift up the rock to get into the portal. And I have to pick up a really funny number of bushes. Let's get started. Paying for itself. And red boomerang. All right. Don't hate that. I'm gonna open that up, but I'll come back through later. For some reason, that's showing green. Even though I don't have Titan's Mitts. Are Titan's Mitts not required for that one? That one block is not required, is it? Can't get to the pegs. Bomb Shack. I think we're going Thieves Town next. Oh, I need to check for Crystal versus Pendant. Okay, so we've got a Pendant in Thieves Town, Skull Woods, and Turtle Rock. We don't know what's on the pedestal. Alright. I would love a seed where I don't have to do Turtle Rock. That sounds really cool. Yeah, I don't want to go down to Digging Town and I don't want to go down to Digging Game and lock myself out of a bunch of stuff. So let's come into here and start on checks. There we go. Huh. Excuse me. Just gonna walk on through your body. Oh, that was the wrong spot to head into. I need to be over. I need to be taking the south exit from this room. And then one more chest in here, and then the west exit from the room. Okay, cane. That's the optional cane. Big key. That one pretty much had to be big key if I'm thinking correctly. Excuse me, many sprites that are on screen right now. I need you to hold up so I can move along. Ah. Almost cleared that room without a hit. Oh, right. Can't hit that with that. Very polite grasshoppers. Yeah. That's all done. So heading down to the basement. No, no, that's not a key. That's just a button. Okay, here's the thing. I thought I couldn't get through this room. Oh, you can pick that up without the Titan's mitts. I thought that was Titan's mitts. Oh, you know what? This is where you get the Titan's mitts. Of course, it's not Titan's mitts required. Okay, key behind blind has to be a small key. No? Then I've missed a small key. Is there a small key under one of the pots upstairs? I think there is. Because the room on the left doesn't get one. Yeah, because the room on the left there is just a trap, or the upper left. The pot in the lower right of this room is just a nothing burger, from what I remember. Yeah, okay. It's got to be a room up from this, something I'm forgetting. Or it was in the main halls underneath one of the skulls. No, Blind can have it. Blind's got the small key for that room. Do I have the cane to help? Yes. For sale, baby boots, never found. I think that's a randomizer joke, as opposed to being like the what's it called, the like 3-word story. Need to be careful. Close. Ah, he got me. Okay. No spare fairy. There's not much to do but do that better. Let's see. I should probably get an anti-fairy and magic powder it. So there's a couple of them around here. Hanging out underneath some of the pots. In some of the rooms. I need to remember which one of these are anti-fairies. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back a bit to find one. Bit of a bummer to not have a sword at the moment. Neither of those. I think it's the two that are over in this center column should be anti-fairies. There we go. Wrong. Just go to the right. Thankfully, blind retries are not the, like, worst thing to navigate back to. So long as we don't have to do this several times. It's angling for a little bit of magic. Very good. Missed him. Yeah. Got him. Whew! Okay. Yeah. Always tough. But we got him. Unfortunately, I forgot that this was a pendant dungeon. So I guess I shouldn't be too excited. Whatever. I had the opportunity to take him down, so just took it. Dungeons have lots of items. This is a refining of my personal strategy. Dungeons have a lot of items, clear dungeons. Go into digging game. Whew. Okay. I still don't have mirror, so I can't get the boots. And that's constantly in the back of my mind, is when can I get the boots? And I still don't have a light source. So all dark areas are still out of logic. I'm gonna go from here to Flute Kid. Okay. There it is. Let's see, we're off to Flute Kid, and I don't have the... don't have the mirror, so I can't do the checks that are near Flute Kid. I have the flippers and the hook shot and the hammer, so I can do... I think I can just do Misery Mire, right? Not Misery Mire. I can do, Water Palace. Swamp, that's what it is. Swamp. No, I don't have mirror, so I can't get into the swamp. Let's go Hype Cave. Come on, mirror. Stop! You're lagging me! Oh. Arrow. Money. Okay. We can see Zora King, I guess, but nothing else better than that, really. Check the tracker real quick. I've got Catfish and Pyramid open. Those aren't too exciting. I wouldn't object to Pyramid check. Like, that seems okay. It's not all that far away. Let's see, any other dungeons? I think there's... Dark World Death Mountain access with my current item set. I don't have the mirror. Can I get to the top of Night World East Mountain? And over across there? It's just bombs. Does not matter. Alright, catfish then, I guess? Man, if I had the mirror, I could make an easy transition from Catfish Check to King Zora. But we do not. I think my only way out of Dark World is to quit out. Yeah. Oh well. Happens. Hup. Gimme stuff. Oh, we've got back of escape check. That's three chests. So let's save and quit to Sanctuary. This is probably running a few checks behind. Like, I should have checked this first when I got gloves. But, I mean, Hype Cave is pretty valid. Okay, Cape opens up, like, Bounce Cave in the Dark World, I guess? I could have checked on the contents of Bounce Cave earlier. Let's see. I know Lumberjack item is unimportant. Still don't have a means of beating Aghanim, but I shouldn't have to if I can access Dark World normally. Okay, so that was unimportant. Lumber Cave. I guess King Zora? We can do King Zora and Zora Ledge. I think the fast way over there is actually to... Oh, wait, no, we have the flute. We can flute halfway over there. I'm not always good at remembering how to weave the flute in my logic. Let's see. What's next after this? Assuming we get nothing, the next step after this might be first floor Tower of Hera? No, because the basement of Tower of Hera is the part that might require the lantern. I can still check Tower of Hera, I think. I think there's stuff I can do there. I'm just not remembering very clearly. But anyway, it's open for a partial clear. I can at least get into the dungeon. Is that the only dungeon I can get into right now? Yeah, I think so. I could also try and out of logic the old man. Okay, medallion. That's pretty cool. And ledge was bombs. Don't need that. Going up Death Mountain. Oh, you can't flute here? Get that. If I can't flute here, I will quit out, back to house, step outside, flute. All right, I'm gonna try and see if I can sequence break this. I clearly don't got it. Be easier with the sword. It's a lot easier to track motion with the sword. Yeah, I have to go to the right side and then up. I thought I could get past him there. I can also get into Spectacle Rock Cave. I just can't finish Spectacle Rock entirely. On my way. Let's see. A couple other things I can check on while I'm here. Need to be a little careful since I can't access the ferry up here. Okay, that item's unimportant. Fill that on the tracker. I can't check pedestal. I think I can see what this item is from up here. Arrows, don't need it. I might still need the item in Spectacle Cave, though. Oh, wait. No, we had the other one. Didn't we? Yeah. Select me the wrong thing. Come on, hit him. Here we go. Buddy, I need hearts. If you could do me a solid, that'd be most appreciated. This should leave the pots open higher up. I guess that's handy. I am super prone to accidentally hitting this stupid little energy ball. Oh, I don't have, right, I don't have hustle boots, so I can't do the boot slam to get back out of there. Excuse me. I always seem to have that wrong in terms of which configuration lets you access the pots here. I'm not actually super confident about taking out Moldorm with 2 hearts on the hammer. Wait, didn't I find another potion? Was it a red potion? Nothing. Okay. Yes, okay. I've got red potion. Just gonna crack into this. Let's get him. Dang it. Got him. Not too bad. Another crystal for me. I'm gonna do the Spectacle Rock Cave, even though I can't do the top. Well, the top doesn't matter, so I'm just gonna hit the cave. This is supposed to be a peanut butter banana smoothie, and it tastes like they forgot the peanut butter. It's that bad. What the heck? Bug net, okay. I mean, I could use that to beat Aghanim. Eh. This is really a case where I want it for the general use case. I believe bug net's optional, but I took the fall wrong there. I did that wrong. What did I screw up? Am I supposed to do something different when I fall down into this thing? Actually, can I just, like... You can't zip across this, right? I think I'm supposed to, like... Do this? Just check to the left. Oh no, I see. I'm actually supposed to access this by jumping off. That's right. Should be this leap. Gets me in there. Okay, so grab the bug nets. That does not open up anything new. We didn't get anything in Tower of Hera. I think there's still possibly a dungeon item in the basement of Tower of Hera, but I won't be able to get at it until I get a light source. I think it's the fastest way out. Oh no, I could probably grapple across that. I don't know if these big rocks are grappleable. Maybe they are. Yeah. Let's see. Next up, I already checked the Zora stuff. Spectacle Rock doesn't matter. I'm gonna leave Tower of Hera open. There's Spike Cave and Bumper Cave in the Dark World. Thieves Town is complete. Eastern Palace is done. I didn't check what was on the Desert Ledge. I think we need to go Dark World either way. How do we get into Dark World Death Mountain? That's accessible right now? Oh, of course it is. I'm being dumb. It is very accessible right now. Or at least Spike Cave is accessible right now. Wait. Spike Cave is accessible? No, yeah, Spike Cave is Hammer, Mitts, and ideally Cane of Samaria, but sometimes it's just Hammer, Mitts, and Gumption. Very easy for me to forget the exact requirements of that cave, because it's nonsense. But yes, the hammer would be the technical requirement for it. But yeah, I get to Dark Western Death Mountain with this, and it's this jump off that goes to Spike Cave. Oh, you can only have out one of those at a time. Duh. Forgetting things. I might have to drink a red potion. That was close. And worthless. Oh boy. What does that leave us with? Bounce Cave? Really? Like, is that our only check right now? Okay. Huh. Trying to think if there's one other chest in Escape, or if there's a chest in Aga Tower that can be something else. Like, I think... I don't remember if you can get an item in Aga Tower or not. Bounce Cave's always a hike. Not a fast way to get there. Front half of Skull Woods is also available. And front half of Skull Woods is, like, actually right here. I think there's a fair argument for doing that before Bounce Cave, but I may wind up doing Bounce Cave first anyway. This does not quite resolve that I need magic to get through Bounce Cave. So we're gonna have to resolve that the good old-fashioned way through a bit of murder. A little bit of murdering. Yeah. Sometimes you just cannot get the hammer to connect. Thing's a real troll. I probably should have caught that fairy, but there will be more fairies to catch. Magic. Anybody. Is there a guaranteed magic drop inside the Bounce Cave? You know what? I can just check the ledge anyway. Nothing. Okay. They're finally. All right, we're going to Skull Woods. I don't usually take this entrance into Skull Woods. That explains why I don't usually take that entrance into Skull Woods. It doesn't lead to anything. Skull Woods is our green pendant dungeon. Higher chance of being mandatory than the other stuff. I don't know why I start with this room in particular. I should probably reconsider this start. So I can't open the back, so I'll check these two rooms. Oh, well. I'll check this room twice. Don't knock me back into the thing. Ah! There, I was marginally more patient. Big key, there we go. So that's intriguing, but this is still, it's still a soft lock. Let's see. We do have another check in Skull Woods with the big key. So I could see my way to doing that. I should have loaded in at Sanctuary. I'd have full hearts. It's not too different. Walk around this. Also, what's up with not finding any swords yet? I mean, I think the sword is optional throughout the entire game, isn't it? I think in Swordless, you can deflect Aghanim's blasts with the hammer. You might need the butterfly net in Swordless. I don't know. I've never tried a Swordless Seed, and I don't really want to. I know that in Swordless, you can fight Ganon with the hammer. So they definitely change up that fight. The big key opens precisely like one door in this entire dungeon. And we get a small key. Okay. Oh, right. I don't have the boots. Let's not get crazy with this. Tether across this. Okay. That's the entryway. I believe that is our last even decent chest in there. So, I think that puts me in Aga Tower. And, yeah, I don't have the green pendant, so we're not going back to Sahasrara. Sahasrara, blah, blah. Wait a minute. This is off logic. Also, apparently on swordless. Apparently, if it's not swordless, I can't get in here with the hammer. Not even the butterfly net will do. Okay. Let's see. Our checks have got to be somewhere in Darkworld, right? It's not the bumper cave. Front of pod? Let's check front of pod. Out of my way. Come on. Forget how much money the monkey actually costs here, but I know it's less than 100. Guy actually does a lot of damage. I've definitely been killed by that enemy type before. Let's see. So, lanternless pod isn't actually too bad. There are like 2 rooms in pod that are pretty There are like 2 rooms in pod that are pretty bad without the lantern. Come back, monkey. If I do get lantern, old man is a quick check. Ah, dang it. That's right, you need 100 gold after escorting him, and I think you need like 10 gold to start the escort. So I actually need more cash. Oh, come on! You troll. He's also gonna rob me if I walk back through that little maze section. Yeah, it's like 5 gold. So we really need like a quick 20. Sheesh. Nothing's gonna drop me a quick 20, is it? I mean, these guys are basically just bomb bags. I'm gonna die. Yeah, I mean, that might be better for the sake of my shame. Just kick it here. Alright, where can I make friggin' money? Also, is this like a fairy fountain? No. Get out of here. Alright, shoot. Where's a schmuck unfamiliar with the Houlihan room supposed to make money? Suppose it's good as time as any to try and figure out the Houlihan room. I know the best spot to make it happen. Oh no, I have the flippers. I can't use that trick. Urgh. That's right, the classic method for that trick requires the flippers. I don't need fairies right now. I guess let's weed the witch's garden, check for money. We're really going to the couch cushions for this. I don't know how much more to stress that I've never had this problem before. I don't have the shovel either. So I can't do any, like, super easy cash farms. Yeah. I should go for a tree pull. Fastest tree pull I can get to is in Castle Courtyard. Followed thereafter by Lumberjacks. $4 is not enough. Did I have particularly unwise expenditures this game? I think my biggest unwise expenditure was getting hit while I was escorting the monkey. Because it was on that kind of margin. There we go. Now we have enough. On the pod. And I should note that I have barely enough. I think if I take a hit escorting the monkey, he might leave me again. Can't have that. Oh, wrong way. It's up through here. There we go. Scuffed. Okay, I've got the bow and arrow, so I can take this route with the mimic. Get me a bit deeper in. Oh, got picked up. I wanted to bottle that for insurance. Good. This is a crystal dungeon. Whoops. Make me back a smidgen of money. Okay, first small key. Excuse me. Nope, don't do that. I got knocked back onto the stairs. I wonder, is this elevation actually respected by the game? Yes, it is. I figured. Yeah, the coding for the things being on different layers is actually pretty interesting in this game. Yeah, I have a small key, so we can take this floor route. If I do it right. There we go. If I take this fall without a small key, I have to, like, double back on stuff. It's no good. Keep the resources topped off. Up through here for this small chest, and we jump off to the right. Small key for small key. Alright, whatever. Cutting out the mystery of things. Onward. Yeah, I want to keep doing what I was doing before in terms of progress. Okay, and then we hop down, and I think we're... Are we going up at this point? Yeah, I think now we go up through here. Trying to remember if I need to go one room to the left and then up into things, but shouldn't have to from this angle. I don't think so. There's a couple ways to do it. Arrow refills, please. You always get arrows in Mimic Rooms, pretty much. Does this go down to a dark room? I'm trying to remember. I think it does. may not be able to do this. Certainly not with confidence. Okay, I'm going to loot back on some stuff. Because I think that's going to be the limit of my ability to sequence break in here. If I don't just find the lantern somewhere. So I think I've got more checks out over here. Yeah, okay, so I need to... I mean, for one, I can go back into the main room and then loot back for that chest, which I just need to get done. Ah, right, no sword. Cool. Take that. Oh, have mercy. They did not. Neat. Those guys actually get damaged and paralyzed by bombs? Huh. Right, I'm gonna have to bomb trigger this. Okay, I thought I threw it too far. That one's always very delayed. I don't entirely understand why. Yeah. This would be a great time to know how to do the hammer yump. I do not know how to do the hammer yump. Okay. This room is easier in the dark than the other one. Boss key. Okay, that's a big deal. Got it. I think this room in the dark is going to be beyond my limits, and that's where I'm going to have to stop on this dungeon. Especially swordless. Yeah, Kane doesn't help me discern my movement. Forgot those were throwable. I need to get to the lower right section. Just not sure if I can really do that without having an image of the room up. Made it through something. I'm gonna start running into these baddies if I'm... Oh. Kinda did. Oh. I did not find the bombable wall. Can I do much more without the image? There's one more chest in here. That block can go higher on the screen, okay. Oh, there was a lower segment. I need to reposition the block. Is this where the bomb's supposed to go? Kinda looks like it. No? I'm not at the rightmost. Where am I? Up this. I found it. Okay. Well, I got that much done. So there's that. That being said, it didn't get me anything. I am very off logic. And I do think there is one more chest in here. But I think accessing it is probably outside of my current abilities. Yeah, okay. So, let's see. If we're not progressing here, what the heck is open? What can we do? Where are we? Is there another chest and pod? I did the loop around. I got the 2 in the U-shaped room, even. Pretty sure I have the big key here. Heck, I got the big key chest, and that was off logic. I've got, like, all the stuff for that and then some. Okay, I think we're probably talking something in Escape. I did the entire front of Escape. Back of Escape is dark. Like, there can't... I did the 3 bomb chests in Back of Escape. And I don't remember there being another chest in the back of Escape. But I have a key. I think finding a key in the sanctuary might mean that I have to do something else over in here. Yeah, because it's trading with another key with another chest that's in Escape. Thing is, I think that if I walk down a room, isn't this a dark room? It's a dark room. What about Old Man? Maybe I can navigate for Old Man more easily if I put down a block. That's still out of logic, though. I thought I might be forgetting an Eastern Palace item, but Eastern Palace is not in logic fully. So that shouldn't be the case, really. I know I got all the Thieves' Town chests. Like, 100%. Got the Hype Cave and Hylia Island. I can't get Desert Ledge. What the heck? What's got me stuck? I can't get to Misery Mire because I don't have Titan's Mitts. Maybe I have Turtle Rock access. Crap, I actually might have Turtle Rock access. Because I've got the Cane of Samaria, I don't have the Fire Rod, so my ability to do stuff in Turtle Rock is really restricted. But I've got the Hook Shot and the Hammer, and that's about all you need. I've got the Hook Shot, the Hammer, 2 medallions. I don't have the sword! I can't use a medallion. Alright, well, I'm going to find out which medallion it is and mark it on the tracker. I don't think I can use... I don't think I can get in. I need to just get past you. Oh no, it did. Okay, yeah, Turtle Rock is Titan's Mitts required. And I can't see what that is going to be. Okay. Zora Ledge was just bombs. I can see what Desert Ledge is, but I don't see a point. I know that Hylia Lake has the boots. I really think we're down to, like, Old Man and Tower of Hera basement. Because I can't activate the Bombos medallion to set fires. Okay, I fell in the hole. If I keep pushing this, will this fall in the hole ahead of me? The answer is not quite. Pretty soundly unfamiliar with the nook that I found myself in. Dang it! Why didn't this put me at the actual entrance? Alright, I got nothing on this. I'm really bad at dark rooms. I don't know how to do this stuff. Especially without the sword. Come on. I'm about to get legit mad over this. Okay, let's see. Left entrance of pod. Oh my goodness. What? No, you have to help. You have to checkpoint me somewhere. What the hell is this? Did I actually get the old man? I ran out of magic. Fell in a hole again. Yeah, so this is definitely like... I don't have green potion, okay. Wait, it's up and to the right. It's a little bit to the right, a little bit down, down to the right, up and around. Then we go to the right until we hit a wall, and you go down. I thought. Okay, I've got something wrong about the layout of this room. I know that it's down to the right, then to the right, then up and to the right. Am I dead or not? Like, kill me already. Just friggin' do it. Apparently these bats can't kill you? Who knew? Who knew? Okay. So it's down to the right. More down than that. Then to the right. Then up and to the right. Then just right. Then I think it's like a little bit up. Let me do up into the... Nope. Okay. I thought once you hit the bats, it was just straight down. What is my life? Was that it? Oh my goodness, I got the old man. I should have been using the boomerang all along. $20. All right. I smooch the old man. Every seed has gotten me bamboozled with something like this. And I don't know if it's a matter of me just getting genuinely puzzling seeds, or if it's just like a dumb thing. I had that one seed with the mirror and Turtle Rock. Seed yesterday where Blind had the hammer. And now we've got this nonsense. Where I've actually just tapped everything I'm aware of. And I can't find the lantern. That's right, there's not a... No, there is a chest down here. It's just a small key. Oh, this is torture. What the heck? I guess there's like 2 more rooms up here that are still well lit that I haven't gone into. But I think that's because they're extraneous. Well, let me go 2 rooms up. Remember what the heck is in that room. This is the locked one, right? Well, the closed one. Down from that room? What is that? I'm a little mad. That's what I was missing. I think that's progression. Yep. Not happy. And the right offshoot from this is just the bomb room for the fairies? It is, okay. Alright. Mirror checks time. The mirror lets us do a few things. Now, the first thing I would like to do with the mirror is get the boots. There's nothing immediate coming out of the boots. There's only one way out of here. I gotta take the long walk around. I'm almost at the 2-hour mark without a sword. Just really get the look and feel of a swordless seed going. That's right, there's no water exit on the right here. If I want Lake Hylia, I gotta go this way. Is there a jump-off point around here anywhere? Yep. Cool. Excuse me, guys. Give me the lake item. Got it. All right. We want to go back up to Dark Graveyard. Got 2 mirror checks there. And then I've got Mirror Grove, the dash block. And we can boot scoot. Long last. Speed. We've also got full access to Swamp Palace now, so that's on the short list of activities. But this over here is also like a good 3 checks, so we'll do it. We still need a lot of stuff either way. But Swamp of Sorrows is mandatory, so it's on the short list for sure. $300, okay. I don't think I have anything else in the game I need to pay for unless I want capacity increases. Not that big a deal. Oh. I was on top of a bush. More transition screens. Just enough room to activate that. there anything that stops me from clearing swamp? Nope. Maybe this giant. Just get in the way. Oh, man. If I don't find a sword in swamp, it's going to be really annoying to fight the boss. I need to swim across this gap. Ugh. Pain in the neck. Running around at the speed of sound. My emergency supply back. Let's get a good old quick clear on the water temple. Mm-hmm. Fill it on up. There it is. Go through here first. Normal pattern for me. Unimportant item. All right. Pretty sure we have to do most of these offshoots either way. If I'm remembering correctly. That's right, we only ever need to do this part of it in this order if we need that small key. I think we always... Do we always? I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we do. Because you can flip the switch back. It's not a soft lock, so you will generally need that. Alright, you don't need to come down here. You just push these blocks out of the way. And we're going on up. This is where we go up. We take a fall down. Grab a couple more things. Restock hearts. And then we're back to the main room, and we start to take the upwards route, although we have not gotten the big key yet, which is a bit slow for this dungeon. But hey, it can happen. I think with this, it might have to be big key and waterfall chest. None of these can be the big key, right? I don't think so. Well, none of these are a key. They definitely can't be the big key. Have I done upper left yet? Yeah, I did. I did. Yeah, I think we're gonna have big key like down the staircase, and then in these rooms. I mean, funnily, there's not a whole lot more dungeon. You know, I think that's what I really appreciate about the Link to the Past dungeons. When you're like first figuring them out, the dungeons feel really cool and really confusing, very tricky. And once you know them, you can navigate them pretty smoothly, and that's very satisfying. You can feel the difference in mastery very clearly. Yeah, I think we've got Waterfall Room, Big Key. This is the rock. I guess not. I mean, the boss requires the big key, right? To access the room? Maybe it doesn't. We'll have big key on boss. I forget how this works for this dungeon. That's right. No, this is one of the dungeons where the boss can have the big key. We've definitely got a big key on boss configuration. Okay. Yep. That's what I thought. I grabbed 2 at a time at least. Yeah, you can't actually pop his little dealies short of the Master Sword. So we have to do the pain in the neck thing of switching our item like 15 times just to fight this guy. Still probably the least threatening Dark World boss of them all. No matter how you slice it. Mildly inconvenient with the hammer, but there we go. Yep, big key on boss, so we're gonna have to step back in here. So I think apart from this, the only check I have in mind is Grove. Yeah, so we really need to make sure we full clear this place. Doesn't take that long to get back to the big chest here. Titan's mitts. Good thing we went back for that, because that cracks things wide open. Yeah, that is a lot of new checks available. Okay, so... I am going to run to check Grove Ledge. It's not too far away. Actually, wait. I've got a few things that are closer. No, I don't. I don't have Book of Mudora, so I can't do the tablet check. I was thinking the tablet check, but we won't bother with that. Okay, we have back entrance into Desert Palace now. Was Desert Palace mandatory? Desert Palace is definitely mandatory. Plus, that check is like attached to 2 other checks, so... Okay, don't need that. And we can check on our Misery Mire entrance requirement. Misery Mire is a mandatory dungeon. Entrance is Quake. We've got that. Got access to Misery Mire. Does that mean we can clear Misery Mire? Not yet. We don't, the darkness, yeah. And I am not gonna do Misery Mire Dark Rooms. Oh boy, I am not going to do that. Fire Rod! Alright. Another mandatory item off the list. Cool. I'm often a little bit off on this warp. Yeah. Okay. I should know by the little slant bit there. Bombs, don't need it. Oh, that's no good. It still worked out. Okay. I don't need to transition back. Don't need that. Yeah, we still need to go to the front part first. Gotta find the big key and all that jazz. Oh, wrong room. I mean, yes and no. This room can have the that room can have the big key on that torch. Okay. Oh, come on. Let go of me. I have to go here. Is this the chest room? That's the chest room. Now I remember what that is. Okay, so we gotta go lower right. Alright, that's, this is the cannon's room. Big key. Okay, so the rule for this dungeon is if you find a small key before the big key, you have to do these 2 rooms. I'm pretty sure in any case where you find the big key in the first, like, slew of checks, I think that room becomes skippable. But I'm not 100% on it. Yep, so we can get this now. Didn't need it. Kind of interesting, Shield 2 is a check, but the Shield 2 shotkeep doesn't have anything. Which I think is probably by, like, community request that they voided his inventory. Okay, second half of the dungeon. I'm pretty sure this is clearable walking in with no keys. I think all the keys I need are provided by the dungeon. Oh, it's the lower left. Okay. I thought that key was in the upper right pot. Damage boost tech. That's probably the room I was thinking of. Jeez. Okay, that would be the problem with this room. Oh, no, I can fire rod this. Skull Woods is also accessible. That's my green pendant dungeon for the run. We'll see if it has to be done or not. Bum, bum, bum. Ah, slow. Probably a rough way of knowing where he's heading before he pops up. Oh, come on. Arrows might be the better play here. There we go. Yeah, that helped. Let me keep that in mind for the future. Use arrows, you fool. Okay. So knock that out, that out, that out. We've got Dwarven Smiths and Lockpick Chest. And Skullwoods is open. Well, Skullwood's Finale is open, is what I should say. Of those, I'm gonna do Blacksmiths. It's the Skullwoods north side, I think, is only like one more check compared to where I was. And I can also check pegs now at the blacksmiths. Should I check that? I guess I should check that now. Wait, I didn't check that before? No, because I didn't have Titansmiths before. Of course I didn't check it before. I'm getting mixed up with yesterday's run. Master Sword, pretty good. Okay, Aga Tower's open now for what that matters. What you got for me? Money. A little bit of money. Okay. I'm gonna hit up Skullwoods. I believe I've already got access to the, like, centipede bit in the upper area. So you can go there before. We've got the Master Sword now, too. That's pretty cool. Tower of Hera basement is open now, too. Ba-ba-bum. Okay, down and through here. And we head across. And out. Get out of here. Oh, wow, I'm taking the wrong way on this twice. Come on. Go through. You can do it. go. Believe you have a key for me? I was wrong. It's the one in the next room. That's fine. I brought a spare. I don't think it's one magic pickup is not enough to fire the fire rod without half magic. Got him. All right. That was pretty good. I didn't get too many damage canceled hits. Just about 2 damage canceled hits. All right. No cool item. Nothing terribly interesting. I've got 2 of the pendants, and I'm going to be stepping out of Skull Rock, so we're going to check what the pedestal has. See if the pedestal's necessary. Wait, I can't check this without the Book of Medora. Dang it! I cannot know. All right, let's see. There's a few options of what to do next, I think. I mean, kinda, sorta. So, Locksmith is probably the next obvious thing to do. Before I do that, though, I'm going to take a quick break. So hit pause on that. I will be back with you shortly. Stretch! Stretch! No, boy! Okay. Hup, hup. Sip of coffee. Yeah, solid slurp. Alright, let's just... Yep, stream has not exploded. Cool, I guess. Might be nice if it exploded sometime. 3, 2, 1, resume. Okay. So... Locksmiths is the plan. I've forgotten a chest, like, back here somewhere. If there is anything in Skullwoods I've forgotten, it'd be in this room up here. I do not remember what this room is. Okay, there is one chest in this room. It's gonna give me a small key, because there's still a small key door. No, it gave me the compass. Okay. Still unimportant either way. Oh no, not this one. I still need to pop out the other side. If there's anything left... Oh, no, that's right. The mummy in the last room is holding a small key that goes to the unimportant room. Okay. Whoops. Ah, I can still use the hookshot and carry along the box. Good test. There's so many things that make you drop this box, I wasn't sure. Nope, come with me. What's in the box? What's in the box? Nothing important. Okay. Showing blacksmiths. I already got dwarven smiths. It didn't update. Desert Palace is done. Swamp Palace is done. Ice Palace is available. We've got Ice Palace, Super Bunny Cave, Hookshot Cave available. Ice Palace is almost assuredly the best target from that. Helps that it's mandatory. Oh. Dang it. Oh. You're the one with the key. I thought it was the middle one. Like that. I feel like I'm getting a good bit better at ice physics. Now, I didn't buy a bombs upgrade before I came in here, which I've done the last two times I've played, so I might have to be a little careful about bombs. Or we just have to be careful about, you know, not showing back up here again. I'm gonna go grab the bomb he dropped. I think I might be liable to need that. Yeah. Excuse me. Faster at that room. Got a bad alignment with the wall there. I'm just gonna tank this. If you would please let me through, that would be awesome. There we go, finally. Oof. Big key, so we can go straight from the big key to the big chest then. Small key, sure. Can I go straight to the boss with this? Do I have the bombos? I have the bombos. Might just be able to beeline this nerd. That's really what I wanted to see. Big ol' magic pick up a Rooski. There we go. There are definitely a few more things to nab in this dungeon, but I'm gonna go punk Cold Stare real quick. Yeah, with bombos we're good for this. Don't have another red, so we're just on ferry. All the sounds and sprites for this is such a laggy fight. Got him. All right, one heart to spare. That's more than enough. Bombs. Okay, we've still got a number of chests to grab in here, so we're gonna head back on in. I probably shouldn't be skipping half the dungeon before go mode, Although, actually... Did I skip the map and the compass? I skipped the compass, so that would be one fewer chest that I actually need to get here. If I can, you know, continue to avoid that. I don't know how close that can be to true. I can think of 2 chests that I haven't opened. So we're not quite in the clear. If I open one more chest and it's not the compass, we're clear. Bum 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 ba da ba ba. No, there are 3 more chests. So I would have to open 2 chests without getting the compass to be fully done with this. Because we've got 1 chest in the stairs leading back up, 1 chest in the room with the spikes, and what's it called? Let's see, it's 1 chest in the room with the spikes. Is it 4 chests? Jesus. I think I thought of another one. Because there's the room with the stairs back up, there's the spike room, there's the room where it's under a pot, like there's a switch. And there's the one other room where I think I need to pull on the tongue of a thing. So I need to come over here, and I do need to step... I need to go down 2 floors and then back up a bit. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I just gotta take this fall. Red mail, okay. Not necessary, but certainly nice. Oh, not that one. Whoops. There we go. I'm actually just out of reach. Upsy daisy. There are 2 more chests left in the dungeon. One of them has the compass. Nah. And here we have the last chest. All good. I should have known that would have a small key. There were 2 small key doors left. So that was unnecessary. I actually had the information needed to not check that. I'm gonna get some capacity uppers while I think. Tower of Hera basement. It's probably a pretty good thing to take a look at. There's no faster way here that I'm aware of. Plus, I can have the old man kiss my boo-boos. Thank you. Turtle Rock is open now. But it might be optional. Yeah, I should probably go there next anyway. Even if it's optional, because it's also connected to... Well, we've got Super Bunny and Hookshot Caves up here as well. And it's connected to Mimic Cave. But I am going to come through and clear out this basement. Which is connected to... Yeah, okay. That's right, that's right. I forget about this chest that's just right here. No, thing in the basement's the map. We're done. Because there's 1 chest there on the main floor and 1 chest in the basement. I keep forgetting the main floor chest. It's gonna beat me. It's gonna bite me soon. But not today. There's a possibility that I won't actually be able to enter Turtle Rock. Because I'm missing 1 medallion. I guess it's always right, top, left. You must have to toggle something to make it random. Got it. I want to open this, but I want to do Hookshot Cave first. It's like right there, and there's like 4 or 5 chests there. I think Hookshot Cave is, generally speaking, a better check than Turtle Rock is, isn't it? That's right. This one's first. Half magic. Well, I mean, that alone makes it a better check than Turtle Rock, because completing Turtle Rock without half magic was going to be awful. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Oh, okay, yeah. I'll just take a tumble then. Okay, so with that, I'm going to take the plunge and do Super Bunny. Now this one's only 2 checks, but it's really fast. compared to the possible loss of doing an optional Turtle Rock. Because if I find, what's it called? If I find a light source, I'm not doing Turtle Rock yet. As with the Lantern, I can do Misery Mire, which is mandatory and has a bunch of chests. Excuse me. Okay. Alright. Optional. We've also got the Witch check open. But even if the Witch check is open, I'll choose Turtle Rock over that. Let's hit it. Hey, without the Book of Mudora, for all I know, this is a pedestal seed. Or naturally, the pedestal could have something very unimportant, which is more often the case. Made it. All right. Ow. Big key. All right. Let's see. After that, I think I'm going around the outside like this. These other rooms. This one's got a chest. Wonder what people call that. I would call it the Moonwalk Room. So it is now officially the Moonwalk Room. You gotta hope for a clean key custody here. Oh. Let's see. How are we on dud items? No dud items yet for this dungeon. So we've got 2 duds. Should be the map and the compass. I've already got the mirror shield. Okay, so yeah, we had to do this segment here. Okay, heading out the left side now. No keys in there, okay. the left. Step outside. Mimic Cave break. The location of this cave is really fiendish. There we go. Ugh. They got a lot of HP if you're just using bombs. Speaking of bombs, thought you might like some bombs. I had a funny thought. Randomizer is really complicated Minesweeper. Okay, level 3 sword means this might be like a worthwhile place to check out no matter what. Pretty big difference in speed and convenience for the level 3 sword. I'm gonna bet this is unimportant. I was wrong. Good thing I don't follow my gut. My gut sucks. Oh crap, this is a dark room? Bye! I didn't realize there were dark rooms in Turtle Rock. Okay. We're gonna SQ out then. I'm gonna check witches? Check witches, I guess. I didn't need to do that. First chat with a witch gives you full health refill. It's a sample. All right, I've got a... There we go. And we step off camera. Come on back. What do you have for me? An extra bottle, I guess. Stock up on some blue pots. Think I might need that. Okay. Where are we going next? Ice Palace clear. Misery Mire's accessible. Let's start. Let's kick in the front door at Misery Mire and see what we find. If I find the lantern in friggin' Misery Mire, jeez. My first 3 seeds are like pedestal mandatory. Then we had was the pedestal mandatory seed the same one where we had the magic mirror in the I had the Magic Mirror and Turtle Rock, and I'm trying to remember if that was also the Pedestal Mandatory Seed. Let's kill him with the Sword Laser since we got a Fairy Drop. Okay, we need the big key for that right-hand side. Yeah, full health's not going to last long. There's a spare room. There we go. Clear on out of here. Okay, small key. How many checks are there in this Remire? I mean, every dungeon is minimum 1 check, because every dungeon has a dungeon item. Three small keys in quick succession. Pretty handy. What does this link up to? I don't remember. Not in the mood to take a bunch of damage. Oh, right. I don't have that. Ah! Okay, I couldn't remember if there was anything in store for taking those guys out, and the answer was no. Is this a one-way room or a kill room? I think this is a one-way room. Yeah. Pretty sure it's connected to this one. That one's useless. That is 4 torches to go north. You know, like, all the recent Zelda games don't even have Wizroads. What's up with that? Like, there's gotta be some... Oh, no, they do, that's right. They're just annoying as heck. They just prance around and fly instead of shooting a big blast. There are certain enemy designs, like, in 2D this is a compelling enemy, and this does not translate at all. That's right. I was thinking Ocarina of Time, I don't remember any Wizroads. But Breath of the Wild has them. Alright. Take the plunge. Compass, alright. Still on no big key, right? Yep, that's correct. 100%. In a classic interpretation of the dungeon, we are supposed to have the big key by now. Which is not really surprising. Almost any time you compare the classic dungeon progression to the rando, are they going to be way faster or way slower? There's no in between. It's the map. Okay. And that room doesn't matter. Okay, the lower right area, I'm pretty sure just connects us to the big chest. What does this connect to? It's just a way to throw away my small keys. Oh, okay. Big key. Cool. We got the big key. Right. Okay. I need to have a better awareness about the relationship between those rooms and Switch. So I think the fastest way to clear this dungeon is probably to grab a small key and use the alternate. Grab a couple small keys, get the easy switch on that other wall, and then proceed. Snag this. I've got blue pots. Ha 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 ha! Lantern and Misery Mire. You little cheeky punk. Okay, so I think now we go up and we can take the jump down in the next room to run towards the end of this dungeon. Oh, how close are we to go? What else are we missing? Oh, crap. We're in go mode. And this is a crystal dungeon. Yeah, we trailblazing now. This is about half hour. I think this is about half an hour faster than yesterday's go mode. Last item, lantern. Jeez. See, so if that's go mode, then it is pedestal optional. Whoops. And I don't need to finish Turtle Rock. Which is awesome. These fire rod vulnerable? No, they're not. There we go. Choo, choo, choo. Doesn't matter. Okay, so we're just beelining bosses. How many more are left? Is it just pod? Are we like pod and go? Yeah, that should be the last crystal. Cool. Took me so long to find the flippin' lantern. Losing my mind. Got a half-cleared pod anyway. It seems like we'll probably be fighting Ganon with, red sword normal arrows, unless we get something cool in Ganon's tower. Which could totally happen. Like, I mean, last progression sword in Ganon's tower isn't even uncommon. Whoops, wrong way. It's hard to, like, call myself on routing mistakes. I didn't do much that was... There were definitely some issues along the way, but... I mean, in terms of the severity of things... Ah... Oh, right, no, it doesn't link to this. It's linked to that other room on the right-hand side. Whatever, hurt me. It's off of this room. Should be the last small key I need. That room's the full kill, and this room has the teleporter. There we go. I'll remember which thing to push. I got it. I got this. We're good. Hey, buddy. I left you waiting. There we go. I don't need to get fancy with the sword spins. It's Forged Sword Helmasaur. You going down. Last crystal. All right. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum. Okay, so we gotta get up to Dark World Ganon Towers. It's gonna be basically like Light World, Flute, climb Death Mountain to Harris Tower, run over to Turtle Rock for the transition. I think that's the fastest. Wait a second. Is there a Dark World transition rock under that one thing? Like, under that Titan's Mitz rock over here? That would be moderately faster. Nope. Yeah. Cabbages! Not the cabbages! So there's no Book of Mudora this seed at all, which is kind of wild, because that, like, gates another 2 checks. Another 2 checks, and it can sometimes, like, gate a dungeon entrance. So that is pretty cool to be able to skip. I think this is the first run I'll put to YouTube, because we didn't have to use a spoiler on it. So, let's see. Let's see how we handle Ganon's Tower, which I am not very familiar with at all. Nonetheless, if I do not get the sub 4 hours, I will be baffled. Entirely baffled. Okay, I'm pretty sure from the last time I did this, I learned that I want to take this right-hand route first, because there's some stuff like right away. Ah, the wrong facing. This room sucks. Okay. Before I do this room... What is this room? Yeah, this room only exists to serve as a teleporter and to annoy me. Got it. I can collect a boomerang. Never mind. Doesn't matter. Ugh. Don't grab me! Get your grabby hands off. No! take damage to not take damage. Okay, What? No! Get back here. Ah, one of them went out. It's no surprise. What is up with that? Right in the nick of time. Got it. Okay. Whew. Did not have a lot of magic left to clown around on that. Just a little bit of something, please. I'm in go mode, so I think that means I can try the Ascension now. That I have the, Wait, no, there are some small keys along the way. I kind of have to take that fall. I set myself up for that. I'm gonna pocket this small key. And let's see if I can cheat. There's a lot more chests in the basement. I do not remember how many more, don't remember how many more keys are required for a genuine clear of this. But we will go illegitimate wherever possible. Nope. Need more walking time. That is no good. Got him. All right. Right. I remember the way out of here. But I am in a blue potion. Should be able to replace that with a fairy later in. And by later in, I suppose I mean right here. Dang it. Messed it up. There we go. And this is a pure safety move. Sometimes safety is expedient. Is this one of those times? Probably not. I could probably just do better. But I don't necessarily trust myself. Okay, yeah, I think I want, actually Fire Rod for the, for these hombres. Oh, wrong one. I'm just gonna get lasered by that statue the more I stick around, so let's, not do that. Let's just miss that timing. That's super cool. Yup. I hit 2 of them with that. That's pretty cool. One of my shots with the Fire Rod actually decided not to happen there on, like, raw principle of, you know, game was not in the mood. Got him. Finally timed one right, after screwing up the rest of that. I think these have some guaranteed magic in them. Yeah, a few resources. I don't have the medallion that makes all this actually show up. Well, I can remember it's shaped like this. There we go. Cool. We got this. Bye. I got trolled there. And again. All right. Forget it. Excuse me. Yes, all part of my master plan, I'm gonna say. It's like the only one of those rooms that you distinctly don't necessarily need to use the Fire Rod for. This one you definitely need to use the Fire Rod for. Well, not actually, but it's very, very helpful. We're totally getting away with cheesing the key count. is good, because the rest of that basement segment is nightmarish. Oh, whoops. Nope, get back in there. Oh, I wanted to put him in my pocket. Get out of here. That was really clean. I was about to say, the game did not know what it wanted to do with me there. Hold up. Seriously, like 2 rooms where this item's useful. Let's get it to work. Hey, big man. Yeah, only got 1 shot in. Only got him 1. This layer looks hilarious, this big old shield. Like, it's very appropriate. Nope. Not good enough. Got him. Alright, this amount of magic. 1 full magic bar to fight Ganon? That should be fine. Because I get full hearts for clearing this tower, right? Or is that a no? Because if I don't get full magic, I might need to restock. Ooh, okay. That's spooky. So, I'm gonna take a quick jaunt and spend some cash. Oh, can't do it there. Huh. This good with you? Yes, okay. So... excuse you. Okay, so that little detour could have been avoided by playing better, or just being more confident in Ganon. So in this Ganon... Oh, we hadn't beat Aghanim. Oh, that's funny. It's a good thing the mirror portal didn't go away. I would have had to walk a whole bunch more. There we go. You drove away my others. Oh. Is that his vanilla line? That's a big knockback. Got 2 fairies to use. I'm just gonna use the fairies before the first blue potion, or at least I'm gonna use a fairy for now. Second fairy. Given the time it takes to use fairies, it's probably better to not play this round like a friggin' kamikaze. Good thing I got the potions. Although I guess it was actually health that was the limiter. They are in the Dark World. Noted. Oh boy. Almost fell off. Can you, do you just beat him with standard arrows if you don't have the silver? I think it's down to just sword slashes. Yeah, it's just sword slashes if you don't have the silvers. At least I'm fairly certain. I probably actually do need silvers. If he's saying it's in the Dark World, I think it has to be Bomb Fairy. I'll have to look up after this if he's beatable in Rando without silvers. I really thought silvers were optional here. I'll just take this. I remember I tested last time whether or not you can jump with... Oh, you cannot jump with it. Oops. I did not test whether or not you could do that. I was wrong. Gotta pay 50 rubies every time we're doing this. So I gotta make sure that doesn't happen again. Yeah, don't hit me. I have a bomb. Okay, so the bomb timer doesn't start for being hit. Silvers. Alright. Alright, so with that... $18 silver arrows should be enough. Okay, I don't have enough left over for an extra green potion or anything. Let's just get it done. What, does this ever say anything? Oh, okay. It's just a notation of how many crystals you're using. Okay. Almost took a death there. That would have been bad. Oh, he's not doing bats with his leaps this time. There's the bats. This is for safety. Punk. What? That is cheating. What? There we go. Okay. Whew. A very clunky finish, but we got there. Okay. So, note, silvers are needed to finish. I should keep that in mind. That should be time on walking through the door. So, 20 minutes faster than yesterday, and without breaking my... without having to crack open the spoiler. Oh, the finish stats showed up on the tracker for a moment. How do I pull that back up? Dun, 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 dun. shoot, that popped up for a little bit. I want to look at it. What was my actual clear rate? It had for a moment how many items I had found and how many items were left over. Oh man, and that I didn't have that on the on screen either. That's not in the Lua script, right? No, definitely not. All right, well, that wraps up that run, and that's all I really wanted to do for tonight. Glad to clear it. So, what was the biggest stumble this run? There were a couple of things I did twice. I was wrong about needing the Titan's Mitts to clear Thieves Town. So now that I know that, I can do better. I technically unnecessarily did a lot of stuff in Skull Woods that I didn't need to do. I didn't get anything out of that dungeon at all. I don't think. Well, let me check the spoiler now. What was the technical required progression? What is the playthrough of that run? And what is the first really ridiculous thing that happens in that run? Okay. Yeah, the Moon Pearl was on the Waterfall Ferry. That was pretty good. Boomerang Chest had the hook shot. Tower of Hera was a necessary clear. Palace of Darkness had the magic mirror. So I had to go into pod for the mirror without being able to clear it. I think that's probably the craziest thing about it, is that I had to go into pod for the magic mirror. That did take a bit, and once I had it, it opened up a lot. Yeah, the Swamp Palace was huge, giving us our first sword and a glove. Yeah, we got the fire rod and the Myra shed. We weren't really looking out. We weren't really worrying about that. Desert Palace. Palace of Darkness. I mean, the most ridiculous thing was that the lamp was in the Misery Mire big chest. And in terms of, fastest progress routing, it's still one of your last items. Okay, so I am noticing, looking at this, that Progressive Bow is not listed twice in the progression run. So Ganon should be beatable without it. It's just how much does that take? I might have been able to kill him the first time I ran at him. Too fast. Requirements. There's a lot more information and techniques I can build into this, so I'm interested in what more I can do. This was the first run I've done that featured some darkroom navigation, whereas previously I've done that strictly, what's it called? Previously, all of my darkroom navigation has been purely on logic. That being said, I don't think my logic breaks this game actually got me anything terribly special, except that I didn't have to come back to Eastern Palace a second time because I had it fully cleared. Yeah, core logic for this would have me go back to Palace of Darkness after clearing Misery Mire. But I guess Eastern Palace... Does this assume I can clear Eastern Palace? Yeah, okay, so this does assume I can clear Eastern Palace without having the lamp. Good to know. Because the full layout of the logic has the Eastern Palace prize ahead of the lamp. Which I didn't think was the case. I mean, I've got normal mode item seating, right? Or is that determined? I was back in the settings. Yeah. The game should never assume that I can operate without the lamp right now. Oh, man. Hookshot invuln setups. Oh, wow. There's a glitch to keep the right torch lit in the Ganon fight. In Phase 2, there are specific setups for each warp position to get a 1 cycle on Phase 2. Oh, man. I'm gonna have to learn me some stuff. Yeah, so I think this is, I think this is the part where I really need to get into... Well, this is the part where I can really start getting into techniques. I got stuck on money this run. First time that's ever happened. But it's a good reason for me to learn the Houlihan room setups. I think also if I learn the Houlihan room, I can start Houlihan to Kakariko, which makes it likelier that I'll be able to complete first half of Escape without having to, like, roll for a weapon, because I can use the Houlihan money to buy bombs if I don't pull bombs. Okay. Workshop setups. Oh, this page says there's a glitch, but it doesn't say what the glitch is. All right. Cool. Not sure when I'll be back at this. Thanks to everybody who stopped by. Probably... It'd be Wednesday at the earliest for me to be getting back to this, because I am very busy on Tuesday. I got a lot going on. So maybe something between Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? I don't know. I have a lot of work to do this week. I gotta get a bunch of stuff done, and I still haven't really progressed on editing the Bayonetta video because I'm driving into the office, so... oh well. Definitely putting this to YouTube, though. That felt like a good run. Okay. Good night, everybody. Hope we wander again soon.